started now. So let me share my screen so that I can see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So a brief of what we did last time. So we talked about this welcome page in Photoshop. We talked about measurement and dimensions in Photoshop. We also talked about artboard and all. So this evening we'll be talking about tools in Photoshop. Like I said in the last class, every of the tools you can see here, these are vertical tools, what we call toolbar. They're what we call toolbar, and everything, every action you'll be taking in Photoshop. These are the tools you'll be working with. Yeah. So the first tool here is move tool. You can see that it is move tool, and when we say move tool, from the word move is the option for moving our object or elements in design in Photoshop. In some software they call it pick tool. Software like Corridor they call it pick tool. So the function of this is it is like the primary it's like the primary tool for anything. Probably you want to select anything, you just click on that move tool. So let's say you're on a particular tool like this and you need to pick, okay, I'm coming, let me just make an illustration. Okay, this is object A, this is object B. Yeah, so as it is now, if you want to select this first one, you ensure you're on the move tool and you select it. Let's say you're now on another tool. If you want to go back to that one, it's either you go and click it this way, or you just click on your V, letter V on your keyboard. It will change to move tool. So that's the function of that. That's the function of that. Yeah. So the next tool we're talking about is the artboard tool. I think I've explained this already. So the artboard tool is under the move tool. So it is used for converting your layer to artboard. I don't need to waste time on that one again. We'll just continue with it. So the next tool we're talking about is the marquee tool. Marquee tool. Marquee tool. Marquee. Marquee. Someone should help us write it in the inbox. Can you hear me? Yeah, someone should help me write that tool in the chat box for you to get the spelling. Marquee tool. Marquee. So that is the name of the tool. And this tool works just like frame. It works like frame. We also use it to select objects. Okay, now take for instance, please everyone should mute, please. Okay, yeah, thank you, Nkechi. Yeah, so let me just bring in one image to show us how that marquee tool works. Okay, let's assume we have okay, this image for instance. All right. So this is this image. If you need, let's say, just the head part from this image, instead of you cropping or something, you can easily use a marquee tool to select that part. Then under the marquee tool, we have the rectangular marquee tool, we have the elliptical or the circle or round marquee tool. We have the single row and the single column. So if you are working with the rectangular, you just pick on it, then you drag your marquee tool above that particular part you need in your image. You drag it above the particular part you need in your image. So at this particular part, can you see the screen? This part I actually highlight now is the part I'll be needing my marquee tool. Now that I've dragged on it, so there are two ways to work with it. So the first thing is if you right click on it, it is going to give you the option to do what? To layer via copy. This layer via copy means you copy out that particular part that you mask that marquee tool. That particular part you highlight with your marquee tool, it is going to copy it. As soon as you copy it, it is going to duplicate it. You have another layer here. At this left side, let me repeat that. Before I actually duplicate it, you can see, if you can see my mouse at this right side where we have artboard 1, there is a particular layer there which is our image. That particular image is the background image, the original image. But as soon as we have our marquee tool on it, if you right click, then you do your layer via copy. As soon as you do that, it is going to copy that particular part and making the layer what? Making the layer 2. Making the layer 2. That's the function of that. And this is how you're going to know. You can easily move that one you duplicated. You can see this. You can easily move it. It is 2 already. You can easily move it. And the original one, at the side of these layers here, these two eyes you are seeing there, they are just like the visibility for your element. If you should off it, it is going to off the element you are offing the eye from. So it is called the indicate visibility. The second one also, if you off it, it's going to off, it is going to go off. Yeah, this is now the part we actually cut out. That's the function of it. Still under it, we have the elliptical. So the elliptical is just like the round one. You can, the way the rectangular works is the way the elliptical also work. If you mark on this one and do your normal layer via copy by right clicking on it, it is going to copy that one out as well. As you can see now, you can see that this one is in circle form. Okay, so that's the function of that. So that is your elliptical tool. So the next tool now um is our lasso tool. Is our lasso tool. So under this lasso tool, we have them to be three. We have the lasso tool, we have the polygonal lasso tool, then we have the magnetic lasso tool. The first one there is the normal lasso tool, and another name for it is freehand. It is freehand. The function of that, you see, most of the designs we see out there, you see that they cut out the background of those most of those images. If you are trying to remove the background of your image, these are the tools you use for the what? For the cutting. So just pay attention to that very well. So these are the tools you use for the cutting. So this lasso tool, the first one here, it is just like the freehand. So as soon as you click on it, you just keep moving your mouse. The direction you move your mouse is the direction it goes. The direction you move your mouse is the direction it goes. You can see that then it's going to join together. So that one is just like your freehand. You will be controlling it with your hand. That's the way that one actually works. Yeah, but the second one there is the polygonal lasso tool, and it is the most widely used. You get, and the reason for that is that polygonal lasso tool, you can actually start from a particular point. You get this way. As soon as you click on that first point, you move to the next point, you click. You move to the next point, you click. You move to the next point, you click. Can you see my mouse? Can we all see what I'm doing?
I cannot see it again.
Oh, you can't see it again. Wow.
I can see it.
You can see. Wait, can you see? The person that said she can't see. Can you see my mouse moving? Can you see this mouse moving? Please, I need response from that lady that said she can't see.
Yeah.
Can you see it now? Hello, is she there?
Yeah, so I can see it.
Okay, good. Yeah. So let me just come back to it. The first one I actually talked about is the lasso tool. And like I said, the way that lasso tool works is you click on the first point and you keep moving your mouse. You keep moving your mouse. You keep moving your mouse. So every part that your mouse covers is the part it's going to mark out for you. And another name given to it is the free hand. But uh, for the fact that your hand cannot be perfect, your hand cannot be perfect, so it's advisable you work with the lasso, polygonal lasso tool. And the reason is for the polygonal lasso tool, when you click on the first point, you don't need to just move it at once like the way the first one works. So I click on this part for the first one, then I can easily click on another point for the second one, click on another point. So like that, you keep clicking until you get to where you are going to. You keep clicking it. You get, so let's assume I've completed it. So then it's going to mark it out. I believe you get that. So now what I'm now going to do to make it clear is what I'm going to crop out the background of this image, you get, without polygonal lasso tool. That might be the major thing we'll be doing tonight. So if we're able to get that, I think we are good to go. because one of the challenges some designers are actually face is cropping out images. Because if you don't crop out your image properly, it's going to should I say reduce the quality of your design in terms of appearance. Because imagine a picture having a very rough edge. In that sense, it means the design is not realistic enough. So this time around, I'm going to crop out this lady from this background. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing tonight. I'll be cutting the lady from the background. And one thing you should know again is whenever you want to crop any image out using your lasso tool, the first thing is you have to zoom in. Okay, I'm starting from this particular point. I'm starting from this particular point, and for you to zoom, as soon as you do your first clicking, as soon as you do your first clicking, you now click uh, on the plus on your keyboard, plus on your keyboard to zoom it in. So when you zoom it in, you'll be able to see that part you are selecting for your cutting. Yeah, and one thing again is ensure you don't cut outside the image. Ensure you don't cut outside the image. Now let me show you this. You can see that this part, this black part is the chair, but we are not needing the chair this time around, but the image of the person alone. So don't cut into that background. You can only cut into your image. Okay, because if you should cut into that background, the background will still show after cutting out your image. The background will still show after cutting out the image. So now this time around, we are cutting now, taking a little part of the image so that the background will not show at all. Can you still see my mouse?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What do you say? All right, so let's continue. So like I said, you just ensure you cut a little part of your image so that the background will not show. So that's how you continue the cutting. So it really takes time to cut out image, but as soon as you master it, it will be very very easy. But I don't just know how we're going to go about this for those that are not having their system available. But I would really love you to just practice this particular part, because it gives issues a lot. Because if you should practice it, you will still come back. Because sometimes when you are cutting your image, when you are doing this particular stuff I'm doing, it's for some people it's still join that you will still have to restart. You get. So for those things not to happen is why you have to just practice practice it. So I don't know. You just try to find a system you can actually practice with. Yeah, and for if you know you are in Ife, if you are in Ife, enter my DM. I can schedule a time if you are not having system and you're in Ife. So I can schedule a time to just take you on that one. Yeah, if you are available in Ife, I just schedule maybe a 30 minutes so that I take you through it so that you can easily get that. Then you can also practice with my system. But for those that are not in Ife, I don't know. You just have to get a PC. So not to take much of our time, I'll just cut this thing short here so that you can see what I was talking about. Okay. Why is this thing skipping this night? Alright, so I want you to pay attention to this thing. So for you to now complete your cutting, you need to take your mouse back to that particular point you started it. And as soon as you get to that particular point, it's going to change. Look at this thing. You are going to observe a change now. It's going to change the mouse to this stuff, to something like that has small zero at the base. Then you click it, then it's going to mask it out. So this way, it's going to mask it out this way. So that particular part that you mark out is now the part you are going to copy out as your image. Now I'm going to do that by right clicking on your by by right clicking on the image, then you do your normal layer via copy. And the same thing that happened when we were working with the marquee tool is going to happen here. The same thing that happened there is going to happen here. When you do your layer via copy, that particular part that you mask is not going to replicate up here. Then let us off the original background and you see, look at this now. So this is what we achieve. So this is the only part I actually cut out, and that's why you are seeing it here. I didn't mean I cover the whole of the image as well. It's going to copy it out, like removing the background. So that's how you're going to achieve. That's how you're going to achieve that. I believe you can see that. So that's the way that marquee tool works. Okay. So just ensure you get the okay. Is someone talking? Hello? Alright. Okay. I don't is it my network? Okay. Sorry, are you asking a question?
I thought we were talking about the Lasso too.
Yes, yes, I'm actually done with it. I thought the person wanted to ask question.
Okay.
All right. So though I made a video of this, so I'm going to share it with us so that we can just get that aspect because it is part of the most difficult part in no, part of the most difficult tool in Photoshop. Okay. So probably tomorrow we can actually proceed with some other ones, but I don't know. I just want us to practice it. Like I said, for those that are in Ife and you don't have a system, try and reach out, and those that have their system already, ensure you work on it, then you share it with me before class starts so that I can make correction as soon as possible. Okay. So we'll be ending it here so that the video will not be too long, then we can actually practice it. Yeah, so Precious, yeah, what's
Yes,
up?
yes.
Um have you been able to get a system?
Yes, but unfortunately there's no Photoshop on it. I'm
Okay.
just trying to download it through that link.
That link, okay, good. Just try and download the Photoshop. Yeah. So I think I spoke with Mariam already and Nkechi. So Nkechi, just try and get your system across so that you can get it. Because if the class should pile up, it might be a bit difficult for you to just get every of those tools you get. So Tomilola,
Yes.
yeah, do you get the PC already?
Yeah.
Oh, and there is Photoshop on it.
I don't know. I didn't get. I've not gotten.
Oh, and you're not in Ife.
Yes.
What can we do? Because we really need to practice this thing. So probably you just reach out to some people around that have their system. You get. So I think that is the
Yeah.
best thing to do in that sense because without it, it's be kind of difficult to get.